More action, you just gon' motherfucker. Rolls Royce, elevating, hello Medina, just upgrading, rag top, made blessed, this low light, head into money. They know it is. This so it is. I'm throw it in, like young you can talk all you want. See me as afraid, nothing I'm afraid of, and I can have it all.
Yo, what's up? We are back in the building. Hey, it's another episode of Real Gents, Real Talk. We are broadcasting live right here at the After Party Radio. Hey, so check this out. If you are tuning in, please make sure that you like and share. And comment. Like, share, and comment on the post. Make sure you let all your friends know we are live, louder than color. Big shouts out to the one and only Boss Lady for holding us down each and every week. That's right here at the After Party. So if you're not following Real Gents, Real Talk and the After Party Radio, make sure you go follow and like the big one, you know. Big shouts out to everybody. Hey, you know, we back in the building, so it is always good to be in the midst of the bros, you know what I'm saying? So big shouts out to my brothers in the building. What up, Dior?
What's going on,
What
bro?
up, Chris?
What's going on?
And then we got a special guest in the building. What up, Chris?
Chris. Little Chris.
So yeah, we are back in the building, and tonight is going to be a phenomenal conversation. I think we all will be able to kind of tap into the conversation at hand. So, you know, before we go anywhere, get any deep into the conversation, you know, we always have to do a mental check. So, Dior, what's up? How are you?
I'm breathing.
It's a blessing.
Yes.
That's it.
That's it.
Just breathe.
That's all today.
Ooh, so you gotta. It sounds like it's some in there. They need to come out.
It's a little something.
I understand. I get it. I definitely get it.
Yeah.
Chris, how are you?
I'm better.
Okay.
I'm better. I'm
glad you're
better. I'm
Glad to
better.
have you back.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Out last week, but I always got to
We'll
have
talk
you
about
back.
it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Okay. And Chris,
But we did miss you, though.
How are you?
I'm motivated. Yeah, I'm motivated.
That's
Yes,
what's up.
motivated. Motivation.
Boss lady, how are you?
What, Dior?
Boss lady, how are you? You good? You good? You in a good space? Okay. So big shouts out to our brothers that are in absence. Big shouts out to Neiman and Trey.
Shout out.
Big
Shout out
shouts
to y'all.
out. So, you know, we always miss our brothers, but, you know, we get it, you
Y'all doing
know.
y'all thing.
Neiman is having a phenomenal time on his trip. Hey,
I'm jealous.
I know he having fun.
Damn, I'm jealous.
you know, when Neiman go anywhere, he gonna always
Do a big. Huh?
Yeah.
he gonna always do his big one. So yeah, you know, I know what that's given. And big shouts out to Trey. His absence always work, don't stop.
Okay.
So hey, you know,
Gotta make that moolah, baby.
yeah, definitely, most definitely. So yeah, today is gonna be a really, really good conversation piece. I'm excited. Oh,
I'm sorry, y'all. My bad. Been a little messy. I'm just tuned in,
yeah,
y'all.
Dior was tuning in. Yeah, you know, so Dior, what's the topic for today?
So today's topic is, drum roll, please. No, I'm just playing. Friendships, breakups, and hustle culture.
Hustle culture.
Friendships, breakup, and hustle culture. So
I think we know about all of them. Don't
yeah, all of them.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely think, you know, yeah, I really do. Yeah.
yeah, you know,
Yeah, you
I
know,
really do. I really do.
You know, I'm just like, yeah, I really do. But you know what? I think that in life, all of those is a part of life.
Absolutely.
When it comes to friendships, when it comes to breakups, and just everyday hustle, everyday grind, I think we all can attest to. I don't think anybody will ever live life and not have to experience all three at some point.
Yeah.
Unless you just
In a
messed up
cave
individual
somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just have to be a really
Yeah.
messed up individual. But yeah, other than that, I think, you know, we all can attest to what that looks like for us. So yeah. So where should we start?
Yeah,
Friendship.
that's what I have to say.
Let's
Ooh.
talk. Let's go.
Friendships.
Let's go. Yeah, let's get it.
I mean, I'm just gonna crack it off, and you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna start it up. You know
No,
what
go
I'm saying.
ahead. Go ahead.
I felt some type of way towards you, Stanley.
Okay.
You know, I haven't talked to y'all, seen y'all since the last live
Right.
audience or whatever we want to call it. And to me, I feel like we friends. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Outside of this show, we real friends. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? We have
most
real
definitely.
conversations.
Most definitely.
And I felt like, one, I felt attacked.
Okay.
I felt attacked. My nigga felt attacked.
Okay.
He felt uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? And as a person that's my friend, not just someone that we just doing a show with, I feel like you could have handled the situation better. You yelled at me on the show. I don't know if you was tipsy or you didn't realize what you did, but you yelled at me on the show, and I'm like, what the fuck did I do for you to be yelling at me? I mean, first of all, we didn't even have control of the audience, period. You know what I'm saying? So everybody was yelling. But for you to single me out, I felt some type of way about that. And then so me to feel some type of way about it, I didn't say nothing. I didn't say that I continue tonight because everybody would say I'm the aggressor. I'm always flipping out. But when people was coming to me after the show that realized what happened and saw what happened too, like, it kind of made me like, no, I'm not tripping. And I'm sure one of our co-hosts had came into you and reached out to you to say that we need to have a conversation. You felt like a conversation wasn't needed. But if we friends,
No, I never said that. I never said that.
you said a conversation wouldn't be
I
initiated.
never said that. I never said that.
Yeah, that's what he said.
No, I never said that. And Dior can attest. And Boss Lady can attest too. I never said that.
Well,
I never.
Well,
said
what was
that.
relayed to me that you don't feel no type of way, but a conversation is not initiated or won't be initiated from you. And I'm like, well, why would a conversation be initiated if he my friend and he know that he offended me?
So my response was, I said that I didn't feel like I had to initiate the conversation because
Why?
it was brought to me that of course after the show and you went in the group and said I feel like we need to have a conversation.
Yes.
I never said that I wasn't cool with it. What I said was
You didn't respond.
So let me get to that.
Okay.
So what I said was, if he feels like we need to have a conversation, when he's ready, I'm down for that. Just let me know. I said, I don't feel like I should have to initiate the conversation if he's already stated that we need to talk.
But you were the offender in this situation.
You
So
felt
how you-
but that's how you felt.
No, it wasn't how I felt. It was just
listen.
what was displayed, bro. Like, you really, like, you
But-
tried to, like, lil-boy me in this situation.
Me personally, I don't feel like that.
How? When you yelled at me in live when it was like
Okay,
a
so-
whole fucking audience. It's not like we were just sitting here, like, just us kicking it, like, you know what I'm saying? Or just not our show, just us, like, kicking, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a whole fucking audience, and we was not out in our domain. We was in a public place.
So going back to the situation at hand, and again, y'all, this is why we have these conversations, these
Yes.
dialogues, because we
Yes.
keep it 100.
Always.
We don't sugarcoat shit. We talk about real shit, and this is not staged. This is not made
No,
up.
this
is real
is
shit.
I
life
really
shit.
was offended.
This
I
is
really
real shit.
felt some
Real
type
life
of way. And I'm
shit.
like, my friend, like, you know, like, what the fuck I went through in my last relationship. You know what I'm saying? I confided to you what I went through personally. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that wasn't replaced with my new nigga there.
No, and I get you 100%. And I think since you brought that up, there's so much other stuff that plays a part in it that I don't really feel like you have a really good understanding just from the conversations that we've had and the stuff that has been.
Well, I'm just-
Listen.
tell me.
Listen.
I wanna know.
And these are conversations that we had
Okay.
as a collective.
Uh-huh.
And when I say we, I'm talking about me, Dior, Neiman, and Boss Lady has been a part of these conversations. So going back to that night, it wasn't me personally attacking you, but if you can recall, before we started, I said, Chris, we need to bring it down tonight. And you said, okay, brother, what you saying? I can't drink? I said, no, I'm not saying that. I said, but when you feel yourself getting to that level,
I only had one drink.
No,
I was
no,
drunk.
I'm
though.
just
I wasn't drunk. I was
recapping the
hiding
whole
the
night.
bitch.
I'm
my
not pointing out flaws or saying you were right or wrong. I'm just saying how the conversation started going into the night.
Okay.
So we had that conversation. Am I right or wrong?
We did.
Okay. And so when we got into that space, it was already a lot going on. Mind you, this is our first live.
Right.
And so it was so much going on. It had gotten so chaotic. It was already frustrating at that moment. So then what happened was the question was asked. I knew you felt attacked, but I didn't feel like I was the one that initiated the conversation into where you felt attacked, because I never, outside of saying congratulations on your new relationship,
Right.
I never said anything about your relationship.
Well,
no.
You
Let me
asked
tell
you did. You did.
But
You tried to compare us with Neiman and his man, and Neiman and his nigga been together for 9 years. You was
What
like, it was like okay, so Neiman, how do you feel about it was really like you was putting us on the spotlight, like, and Neiman can agree, like he did say the same thing, like he felt like you was asking his nigga, like him and his man, questions, and it was like in the comparison of what me and my man got going on, like.
But for
then
me,
what the
it
question
wasn't.
is
I
asked.
wasn't comparing. I was only asking because you two were the two in relationship.
Right.
So I asked him his opinion, and then I asked you yours. It wasn't me trying to compare the two.
Okay.
It was just me addressing the fact that both of you all are in relationship.
Right.
So it wasn't me ever trying to compare or contrast or do anything about the relationships. I was only asking the question because it was coming from two people that were on the panel that were in relationships.
Okay.
That I knew of. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it was never that, and you know, just to clear the air, I would never personally attack you. You know, from day one, we talked, and I was like, you know, I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. I see that you're happy. You're in a good space.
Yeah.
I was down for it, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of anything, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of how I may feel about how you do or what you do, that was neither here nor there.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, I'm always going to be happy for my friends
Right.
when I see them in a happy space.
Right.
So I would never try to compare you to nobody else.
I would hope
because-
so, but I ain't gonna lie, I did feel attacked.
So
And
if
then
you-
when
if
you
you
did
did feel
on
like
top
that-
of you yelling at me like that,
I'ma
like the
get to
shit
that.
was like,
So I'ma get
like
to
no,
that.
I really like I wasn't the only motherfucker yelling though. It was everybody in the building was yelling.
So let me get to that point. So when that happened, what was happening was there were people asking questions,
Uh-huh.
and in the course of them asking questions, first you respond. Somebody said something, and you was like, no, fuck that. Then so when you said it, the facial expression was like, what? You know what I'm saying? And then after that, they were talking, and then you started talking over it, and so they were yelling because we couldn't hear them, and then you were yelling back at them, and it had just, for me, it had just got overwhelming. So, you know, could I handle it differently? Most definitely. I'm not going to take that. You know, I'll never take that. And I'm man enough to admit, could I have done it differently? Could it have been handled differently? Most definitely. You know what I'm saying? And I'm man enough to admit that and to say that. But to say that, was I personally attacking you or was I personally coming at you in your man? It was never that. It was never none of that. And that's why I never even asked any personal questions about your relationship or even gave any feedback about how I felt or what I thought about your relationship. So when those questions came about, that was straight asking them
Yeah, me and
questions.
Trey and I already
Yeah,
talked.
that didn't
But
have
we
nothing
could
to
have
do
had
with
a
me.
conversation before this show. You know
Well,
what I'm saying? We could
I
have
never said that
talked before bringing this on the show because
Boss
I feel like
lady,
we were
did I
wasting
not
time
say-
about some shit
Boss
that
lady,
could
when
have
we
been
had the
discussed a long time
conversation-
ago.
when
Well,
we-
you was the one that offended, so I don't understand like why you feel like you
Because,
couldn't have
Chris,
reached out to me when you
for
know
one-
like you did
So,
something to me
Chris,
though. I didn't do shit
but
to you
Chris,
though.
For one, we've been friends long enough.
Yes.
I know how you are. And I know when you're in a certain space, I know when it's a good time to talk to you and when it's not. So what I did was I allowed you time to get in a, because Chris, had we had that conversation then, it would not have went well.
No,
and
we
you
gotta
know
do
that.
it. Yeah, we
and
gotta
I
do it.
know that.
Uh-huh.
And so to prevent that, when it was brought up and it was asked to me why I didn't respond, I know Chris. So I'm not going to say nothing because at this moment, if I say something, it's going to go left. And it's going to be worse than what it is now. I said, so he said that we need to have a conversation. I'm not opposed to it, but I'm not going to initiate it. I'm going to allow him to do that. Mm-hmm. And so they said, well, will you be willing to? I don't have a problem with having a conversation. But because he said that we need to have a conversation, when he's ready to have that conversation, I'll be more than
I was
happy
been ready to have that conversation, but I just feel like you
am
was
I
like-
wrong though?
It was some
Gio,
shady
am I
shit.
wrong? It did not say that. You
didn't
know
say
what I'm
that.
saying?
You
So
didn't.
all I said was I'm not opposed to it, but I will have the conversation when he initiates the conversation. I didn't feel like that I had to initiate the conversation because I wasn't the one that said we need to have a conversation. Mm-hmm. So I never denied or was opposed to the conversation. I just said whenever he read it, I'm cool with it. And so, you know, even when you didn't come last week, I got it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say nothing bad. Even when we did the show, I still acknowledged you. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not the type of person, I'm not petty, and I would never do anything. I have not said anything about you. I don't talk bad about you.
No, me either.
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't make a
that.
moment. That's why, because when I was sitting in the moment, in that actual moment when we was on the show, I was like, am I tripping? Because I'm like, well, if I'm tripping, then I need to just not say shit, because everybody say I'm always.
But no, it definitely was not
like,
personal. It wasn't personal. It wasn't a personal attack on you. It wasn't me at you, or it wasn't me having an issue with you or your man. It was never none of that. And that's why I avoided those conversations, because I never wanted you to feel like that I feel any type of way or have an issue with you and your man, because I don't have a reason. So you feel what I'm saying? Okay. It was never.
Okay, so everybody who's tuning in right now, the conversation tonight is about friendships, breakups, and hustle culture. And right now, what y'all just experienced is two friends taking accountability, communicating, and just showing up for one another and hearing each other out. So that's one major thing in a friendship, is you got to have effective communication. You have to be able to take accountability for the things that you have done.
Well, I appreciate you acknowledging that and admitting, I appreciate that, but it did kind of make me feel some type of way.
No, I knew that, and because I've been friends with you for so long, I know when it's a time to have a conversation with you and when it's not, because I know you and I know you very well. So in that moment, I knew it wasn't, and so for me, knowing you, I was like, when he wants to talk to me, we'll talk. You know what I'm saying? Until then, I'm not going to push it or force it, because I know that it would have went left and it would have gotten worse than what it was. So that's why I just said, whenever he ready to talk, I'm down for it. But I'm not going to initiate the conversation. I'm going to let him do that when I know he's in a good headspace to have that conversation. So that's what it was. But yeah, it was never anything personal. So, and if you took it like that, I apologize, because it was never that at all.
Oh,
That was good. It was good.
That was beautiful.
Wanted to have a conversation.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it.
Love
This
is in
nigga
the
gonna make
air.
me wait to get on this show. Where I'm gonna come on this show
Love is in
and
the
say
air.
what I got to say.
But I think that the beauty in it is that you just display how friends should be able to get over situations, right? Because when I think about even the topic, right, friendships can easily lead to breakups, right?
Yeah, I agree.
And the development of a friendship is also a form of a hustle, right?
It is.
Because both of you have to work to make something work. And what y'all displayed is that y'all are hustling for your friendship. Going back to something that Dior just said, Dior said you got to have effective communication, you have to have transparency and accountability. But another piece that you just highlighted was vulnerability, right? As a friend, I need to be able to feel safe enough to be vulnerable enough with you to say, hey friend, you did this and it made me feel this way and I did not like that, and I would be remiss if I did not tell you that, right? And so in so many words or less, that's what you said. Hey, look, I'm finna start up at the top. I can't do nothing else. I'm finna be vulnerable, and I'm finna say, hey friend, what happened last time? It really fucked with me, and I didn't appreciate that, right? And then y'all was but that level of a vulnerability allowed him to be like, okay, well, I get it. And now that he's ready, we can have this conversation. And I'm going to be transparent about what I thought it was and what it was not, so we can get some clarity, so we can move on. And that's the hustle in it, right? To prevent the friendship from breaking up. So that was beautiful.
Yes.
I definitely.
Yes, I'm so proud of y'all.
So when we talk about friendships, like, how many of you all have been in spaces with friends that you were either able to make amends and get it back right, or you just had to be like, you know what, it's one and done?
A lot. But I'm growing to not have hold grudges. Holding grudges prevent from this type of.
But sometimes you don't. It doesn't have to be you holding a grudge. Sometimes you just know when it's just not that.
I think, I think also sometimes it's not about holding a grudge, because I'm a Scorpio and I'm someone who will hold a grudge. Bitch, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you won't get two. Right?
For real.
Right. And I think that also, like, life will present you with situations within any type of relationship where you will start to acknowledge that, hey baby, maybe the season for our connection is just up, because the season that you want is winter, and I'm looking to go to spring and then summer and to fall, and I can't be stuck in winter with you, because I'm sick and tired of being cold. And sometimes it's okay just to leave someone in the past. I'm not saying that I'm holding a grudge, but it's that it happened, I forgave you, but I'm not forgetting, because I don't want to go back to this space that I've worked so hard to come from, or I don't want to be around the same people, places, and things that that's reinforcing trauma within my life, that's preventing me from being the best version of myself, I can't be around that. You know, I'm quick to find a new friend group. You know, I've been in Dallas for maybe around almost 10 years now. When I first moved here, I was hanging around a certain group of people. A group of people that I was hanging around with when I moved here is not the group of people that I hang around with now. Situations occurred to where we couldn't be cool, but I outgrew that group of friends. It was nothing that they could offer me, and it was nothing that I could give them to where we could be healthy in that, right? And it's nothing intentional. It was just situations occurred that, you know, I was just like, you know, maybe this is not the right space for me, but I had to accept that. And then when I accepted it, the universe allowed people to come into my life who saw me for who I was and where I wanted to go.